everyone. Welcome to Around Town, the show where we shine a spotlight on those that are shaping our local communities. I'm Nate.
I'm Yoshi.
And today we're in Plain City, and we're going to be interviewing Tim Dawson, who owns Pioneer Pizza and The Granary.
Tim's invested millions of dollars in Plain City, and there's no doubt he cares about where he lives. His family lives here, he's very involved in the community, and he's going to tell his story about how he started here.
So let's jump in, hear a little bit of what Tim has to say about his journey and what he's done to benefit our community.
No, thanks for being here, Tim, and letting us use your space and check out your beautiful restaurant. Give us a little bit about your background, your story. Did you grow up in Plain City? Where did you come from? Give us a little background.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Hilliard, which is not far from here, of course, and started in a pizza shop when I was 15 years old. And then I started bartending at Sawmill Athletic Club when that was around. And then I got my job at Honda, and I worked there for 21 years. The first opportunity that I had to leave there, I took it, and I'd already owned Monarch Pizza, so I was working at Honda and at the pizza shop at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, it was difficult. And so when I had the opportunity to leave, I took that opportunity, and then that's when I opened up another pizza shop too, Wildcat Pizza in Richwood.
Oh, cool.
And so I just took, the retirement money and decided that I didn't want to just sit on it and do nothing, and I just wanted to invest it. And so that's when I started. That was the first actual real estate transaction that I had outside of my home.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So did you have a background in restaurants, or what got you involved in pizza shops?
Yeah, it was mostly just because that's all I did as a kid. I'd always loved doing pizza, and so I wanted to open my own pizza shop. Yeah. And I worked at every single one of the pizza shops in Hilliard when I was a kid, and so it was one of my dreams. And so I started that dream when I was working at Honda, which I always believe that you should do, is before you go chasing your dream, you better make sure that it's going to work out.
Right.
And so I did both my full-time job and my other full-time job at the pizza shop at night. And so I'd get off work, go right to the pizza shop, close it, and then go right back to work. I did that it was probably 3 or 4 years before I took that, when they offered the first buyout.
Yeah.
And that's when, I had always been interested in coming to Plain City because I did move here sometime after I got my job at Honda. I first moved to Plain City, and then I moved to Marysville. Okay. And so that's where I got kind of my history in Plain City, as I lived on Maple Street, right beside David Hay, and he worked for the fire department then. And so, I always loved it when I lived here, but we didn't stay very long. We wanted to move out into the country, and so that's what we did back then. But I think that's what really started my love for Plain City, because I remember when it was the Plain City pub, and we used to go there at nighttime, and
cool.
So it was fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Tim, tell us about what was first here, where the Granary is now, and how you've transformed it.
Well, when I bought it, it was the Grub House pizza shop, but it's been so many things. That's the kind of fun thing about when you buy something here in Plain City, that people love to talk about the history and the things that what they used to do as kids. And that's when I got a lot of stories about just the history of this building, which made me even more excited about it. There's been a clothing store here. There's been, the pharmacy was here at one time, and there was also a gun store here at one time. And so the Grub House, though, was here, and I had already had Pioneer Pizza when I bought this building. I was actually working up here in the silo while they were down there working in the pizza shop, and that's when the owner of the pizza shop decided that he didn't want to renew his lease. I gave him the opportunity to renew his lease, and he decided not to. And then I also offered him the opportunity to do something with me as far as a different restaurant. But I think that, one of the things about the restaurant business is it makes you tired, and it's a full-time 24-hour day job. And it does burn people out at times. And so I think that he was just tired, and rightfully so. He put his time in. And so that's when I got the idea that I wanted to start something on my own and different than pizza. And so I got involved with someone that we started the restaurant, and we opened it in, I want to say July, and we closed it in September because it just wasn't working out. And I was a partnership with him, and I bought him out, and I just wanted to close it down, and it wasn't working as I wanted it to and what I'd hoped for. And so I decided that if I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail early and start over again. And I think that, at least personally, my life is filled. People can look today and think that it was filled with nothing but successes, and it was filled with a lot of losses and a lot of failures. So I think that, the main thing is to encourage people, that are failing or that did fail, that it's never too late to try again,
right.
And to start over.
Well, so Tim, something really important I feel in Plain City is preserving the history. And you, in my opinion, have done a great job at bridging the gap of bringing in the new, preserving the history. You've brought back Rock the Clock to the community, and that has grown exponentially. Tell us a little bit about how that first happened and why you wanted to bring that back to Plain City.
Well, I think that when I first came, as far as business-wise in Plain City, and I bought Pioneer Pizza, I saw that it was a very rundown, nothing was really going on, and I knew that it wasn't like that because I'd lived here 20 years before that, and it didn't seem to be as bad as it was when I came back. And so I wanted to know what did Plain City used to do, and that's when someone told me that used to have a big street party, and I forget what they named it, but it immediately rang a bell with me, and I said, well, why can't I thought to myself, why can't we do that again? Well, there's nothing stopping us. And so that's when I just started asking questions like, why can't we shut the streets down? The answer was, well, we can. There's nothing really stopping it except for someone to organize it, because I knew that the village, they said that they didn't have the manpower to do it. So I wanted to start that. And that's how Rock the Clock, started, was because it was something I knew that the village used to enjoy, and everyone talks about it still years later. So it had to have been something fun. We just pulled out the pictures of the first Rock the Clock. The Reaganomics were here, and my son was here because, talking about losses and things of my son, right after the first Rock the Clock, he passed away from an overdose. And, so sometimes my daughter and I, we go back and we reminisce about that first Rock the Clock because Miles was so excited. It was the Reaganomics, and I know there wasn't 1,000 people here, and it was in the hundreds only. And we rented the stage from the city of Dublin and had that stage brought here, the Showmobile. Okay. And it's so funny because, we still had a great time that year. Even though there was only a few hundred people here, those few hundred people had a great time, and they said, are you going to do it again next year? Yeah. And so that was what inspired me to do it again the next year. And each year it has just grown, maybe by a few hundred people, sometimes doubled in size. Like the first year, it probably doubled the next year. And so, those are the things that I think that inspire you to continue to keep going and to do it again the following year, because there's a lot of people that enjoy it, and they enjoy getting together with their family or their friends that they haven't seen forever, just like a reunion.
That's cool.
And now, is Rock the Clock something that led you down the path to expand the granary? Because now we're a destination, that we have artists from Nashville that know of Plain City and that will come and play here. You've brought in major acts, and it's grown. Was that kind of the precursor to, hey, maybe something a little bit bigger?
When we started Rock the Clock, I had never really planned on having a Nashville artist here. It was more of a cover band type of fun activity. But then as the years grew, I kept asking, well, who would you like to see next year? And that's when people started wanting a little bit more. And so each year we've tried to up our game as far as who's here and entertain them. And of course, it took that many years of relationships with the agencies in Nashville in order to get me to where I am today, in order to call them up and get the people that we have here at the Granary, because we're a 350 to 500 person venue, which is great for up and coming people, but sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get the bigger artists to come and play in such a small space, because they require so much more money to come, and you just can't sell tickets for that much. But all those things in mind, it did sort of lead me to want to start a music venue, because I really did enjoy entertaining, and I enjoyed seeing people dance and sing and have a good time. And I think that that's really what I wanted to try to provide people in a smaller atmosphere here at the Granary.
That's cool. You talked about, when you were coming up, after when you were in the restaurants and you were at Honda, it was challenging. You were working all those hours and all those shifts and everything. And then you talked about all the challenges that you've had to overcome with the restaurants and the other business ventures, and then the loss of your son. Where would you think that you learned your resiliency? Where does that come from?
I really don't know, other than, the main thing that I got it from was when I did actually lose my son. I think that a lot of people turn to different things whenever something bad really happens, and I think that I dove into work more than anything. And so I think that I wanted to prove something to not only myself, but to kind of do it for him when it comes to entertaining and those kind of fun things. And we were kind of one and the same when it comes to dreaming and about what we could do. And so I wanted to continue that. And so, working all the hours and doing all the things that I did, I think that was my drive and that was my why. And everyone has to have that why. I'm sure I had some of it was anger and some of it was just determination.
Right.
That I wanted to do it for him and for the family. A lot of it has to do with faith too. I mean, because I really believe, because I have a strong belief in God, and a lot of those times when I didn't know where the next, sale was going to come from, or how I was going to get through the next 6 months, that is probably the biggest thing that gets you through tough times, is just saying, okay, one more day.
To you, what makes Plain City special? Because I know in my own heart what makes it special, as well as Yoshi, but I really want to know from the business owners here locally, like, why choose Plain City? What makes it special to you?
I think 100% it is small town America. This village represents small town America probably better than any other place that I can imagine. And what's so great about it is that it's so close to the big city of Columbus. And so I think people can come here, they can live here, and they can be within 10 minutes of anything that they want, but they can come back home. And I think that says something when you talk about coming back home. And I think about that as a kid. As I grew up, I always wanted to go back home. And I think that's what I sense when I go out and I come back to Plain City. I'm like, I'm home. And it just gives me that sense of home. And anywhere can be a house, but not anywhere can be a home. And I think that that's one good thing that Plain City is. It's not so large of a downtown area. It's just a quaint downtown area that can be special.
I do want to thank you. You invested millions into Plain City. I'm excited to see what else that your crazy brain will come up with and do. Because I was one of those people walking in today and went, oh my Lord, wait, he's changing again. And I asked you, when are you going to stop spending money?
Yeah, that's true. I get that all the time, and that's okay.
We really appreciate it. Another thing I want to point out, and again, is your generosity to the community. You always sponsor things. You're willing to give to the members that give back to the community. And that doesn't go unnoticed to a lot of us that you have given to. So that's very much appreciated.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed the episode. It was awesome getting to talk to Tim, and hopefully you got some things that you get to take away about Plain City and our community.
Yeah, I think Tim has an inspirational story for us all.
For sure.
If you enjoyed what you learned about Tim today and you want to learn more about what we're doing, feel free to sign up on the link below or scan our QR code. Yoshi and I are real estate agents, and we'd love to be the resource for you in the time that you may want to buy a home or sell a home. Come back to our next episode. We're going to be interviewing Don and Melissa Seymour of Hometown Huddle.
That's going to be awesome.
Yep, we look forward to seeing you then. Thanks. Have a great day.